Today I wanted to share with you some things that we learned that have just worked spectacularly during our trip to the Adirondacks. Usually we're big DEET people, but the stuff really stinks and there's all sorts of questions on whether or not there's long-term implications to using DEET. So we've come up with a couple other solutions that really have worked. There is this Picaridin insect by Sawyer and a ThermaCell mosquito repellent device by ThermaCell. I am not getting paid any money for these products in any way, shape, or form. These were actually purchased by my father, but I purchased a bunch of these and we just thought that they work so well we really have to share it with you. So let's start out with this, the Picaridin insect repellent by Sawyer. My wife and my kids are constantly getting the mosquito bites every time we come to the Adirondacks. I mean, to the point where they're getting dozens. They've been using this for 3 days now at the beach, golf course, in the park, out here, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No one has gotten any bites. None. Zero. Is that crazy? I don't know, but highly recommend this. We got it at Target. It doesn't come, you can get it online. Target, it said it was $5.50. When we rung it up, it was $2.75. So crazy great deal for this stuff. Highly recommend it. Another thing that worked really well is this ThermaCell. Okay, the ThermaCell, this olive version comes with 1 of these and 3 of these. And I'll go into every little bit of the detail here. I'll tell you the good things and not so good things about this. Supposedly, it's good for about 15 feet. By 15 feet. We've tested it and it's pretty close depending on the wind conditions. But it does work. It's pretty simple. It has a heating element in it with these little pads. Now you go through 3 of these pads and 1 of these ThermaCell butane cartridges in 12 hours. So if you're out there backpacking around, you may have some problems carrying enough of the supplies. In fact, my father went and got a whole big replacement box, and he swears by this. He's been using it when people come, his friends, things like that, and they're all just not getting mosquito bites. They're not using this Sawyer. This is stuff we brought with us. But they're using these ThermaCells, and they are just shocked at how good they work. So let's go a little bit into the detail of this. Again, you can buy this unit here, the way you see it, for $19.95 for the olive one, or a little bit more, $25 for the different color versions. So what comes with the kit? So here's the unit. And this is 12 hours worth of use. This is kind of like a laser printer from the standpoint that you have to buy more and more of these to make this work. It's pretty simple. I'll show you what the sense is. Okay, so this is where the cartridge goes in. It just screws out like this. Okay, so this cartridge is almost done. So you put it in the unit like this, screw it in place, and it just sits there, puts this top of there like that, click it in place. There you go. And you can see a fuel indicator. It's really hard to see from the video, but there's a little indicator that tells you the amount of fuel that's in there. Now, these white repellent mats, as they go, they start out blue, and then they go towards white as you get from 0 to 4 hours. You just take 1 of these out of the bag, and so you can tell that they start out blue like this, and then you just slide the replacement one in and push the one that's used out. That's what the back looks like. When you put it in, the cartridge both ways looks like this. So you can see there's a little heating element there. And so this basically works. Butane heats up this hot plate when you turn it on and hit this button. You can actually hear a little bit of a hiss, very subtle, and you can't see much smoke until you get to about this point here where it's starting to get really close to white. And then for some reason the smoke is a little more predominant. So you slide it in here like this. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes for this thing to work, to get up to full strength, but then it really is effective. So you turn it on like that. You can hear the little hiss. And then there's a little indicator, as you can possibly see on the video. It's a little red dot. That's the flame that's heating up the plate for this device. So it hisses a little bit, it works great, and we'll just leave it there. Now, a couple things I want to tell you about. For another $9.95, or about $10, you can buy this and this. And why do you care? Well, because actually the clip is valuable. This, I'm not so certain of. Let me show you. So the clip goes on here like this. And you push it up, boom. So then you can clip this on things. The unit does not come with this clip. This is an optional clip. So it's kind of crazy if you think about it. So you spend $20 for the first set of the pads and the replacement cartridge, and you have to pay extra for this clip, because this clip is essential to putting it, you know, on your belt or on a backpack or what have you. Without this clip, you just got to lay it down like that. So you pay $10 for this and this clip. That's a little stingy, I think. The clip should come with the unit. So then you put this thing in here like this. Now it kind of fits crazily. All right, so when the unit is not being used, you just put that over like this. And then they have a little flap here. And then you have a place to store an extra replacement cartridge. You have an area here to put in these thermal pads when the unit is not being used. When the unit's being used, what are you going to do with this tab? There's no real good way of describing what to do with it, because you have this area here where air is being drawn in and you can't cover this. This actually gets a little oily, and that's what the heat element is going on. So if you didn't know better and you do this, you're totally taking the unit out. It's dysfunctional. So I don't understand anything about this. I don't understand about this little strap here. Okay, because if you do this and this, that's nice and handy, but then you're blocking this passage here and the ability to use that belt loop. Okay, I guess it's convenient to put this, the pads and the butane in there to hold it, but quite frankly, I think it's a ripoff. I wouldn't spend the $10 if you didn't need the clip. The clip is pretty essential. It fits on there kind of goofily. It really doesn't work that much at all. Spending $10 for this clip, because this clip is very important. But this bag, ridiculous. I don't understand the design of this. It isn't very descriptive. You go online and you try to get some videos, like on Amazon, things like that. They don't talk about how do you install this bag. They talk about how this device works. Bit crazy. Here's another product that we've been using that I failed to mention. It's a Deepwoods off version, and it sprays on as opposed to the lotion, but it still has the 20% Picaridin in it. I've been saying Picarin, which is incorrect. It's actually Picaridin, but it's spelled P-I-C-A-R-I-D-I-N. Picaridin, or Picaridin. Anyway, works great. Give it a try. Bottom line is, this works great. Just put it on. It's a nice lotion, has very little smell to it. It's actually based on pepper, black pepper. And there's 25% of the active ingredient. The rest of it's a nice clean lotion. It will last you anywhere from 10 to 14 hours. This will last you, with the current setup, 4 hours before you have to replace the pad. 12 hours going through all 3 pads and 1 butane thing. Again, you're going to have to buy a bunch of these to keep this thing going. Here, you're going to be able to carry this around. You don't have to worry about any kind of butane, what have you, and it will work like magic. But for a bigger crowd, when you want to have a party, want to have a picnic, go to the beach, it really does cover around a 15-foot perimeter, dome, you might say, and it works. The question is, do you really want to buy a bunch of these? Totally up to you. But we're using both of them. They're working great. We're going to go home with no mosquito bites, no bug bites. It works for not only mosquitoes, but deer flies and any other bugs seem to stay away with these 2 things. Thumbs up and comments always appreciated. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more reviews coming soon.